So a real quick one for you today. If you want to speed up your workflow inside of Studio One, and yet you're not using the Arranger tab inside of the software, you are underutilizing the power of Studio One. Now let me show you just how powerful this specific feature is and how you can use it to make better music faster. So here inside of Studio One, I have a track that I remade. It's a popular deadmau5 track. Just a little side note, if you want to get better at music and better at music production, remake some of your favorite songs and you will get better. It really, really works. So hopefully I don't get demonetized for this. Nevertheless, there is a part of this song where a drop hits. There's a riser and a couple claps, and then the hi-hats come in. So I'll play that part for you now. And so here I want to specifically section this part out as the drop. So if I come up here to the hamburger icon and select global track visibility and then select the arranger track, there is a section up here that is now created. And I can just double click right up here in this region and it automatically creates a arranger track for me. And now it creates the track wherever I have the loop set. And I can just drag either end to make it longer or shorter to fit the specific needs that I need. And also I can use the exact same tools I use to cut MIDI and audio to also cut this as well. Now, if I just drag this over here and then I create another one right next to it, it'll automatically create it directly after the one I just made, and it'll actually automatically name it from intro to verse because that's what Studio One is thinking I'm trying to do. Obviously, intro, verse, chorus, and it'll continue on automatically naming it. Sometimes it's not correct, especially if you break the mold of your songwriting. And so now I want to rename this. So now I have an intro and I have a verse. So now what I can do is I can just come up here to the little eye icon, the inspector, and now I have an intro and a verse right here. I can rename this as pre-drop, and then I can rename this one as the drop. And you can label these whatever you like. Now, if you right-click them, you can select this little color tab, and you can select a brand new color for this specific section. So the drop will be red. The pre-drop, I'm going to make it purple. And you can continue on down this journey here by double-clicking, making new regions, and you can rename them and add different colors and all sorts of stuff. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you with just these two sections here. And so now we can see the pre-drop going into the drop. Now, this is super helpful to actually see where different sections of the song are. So that way, if you're trying to go back to the verse or back to the chorus and clicking around, it can save you a lot of time. But that's not the best part of this feature. Studio One takes this feature to the next level. So now that I have the Arranger tab open and there's a couple different sections here, I can now duplicate the entire track, everything that's underneath this specific section with just a single click. So now I can just select the drop and drag it over and move it by just dragging and releasing, and then it moves the entire section over. Or I can click and drag, and then before I release, hold Alt or Option on a Mac, and then release it again. And it duplicates all of my audio, all of my MIDI. I can even bring over the pre-drop here and slide it over in here, and then there's a section here where I can insert it, and I let go. And now it inserts that pre-drop in between the two drops, automatically moved the drop over and inserted the pre-drop directly behind it. This is such a powerful feature, and it's one of the features that I use the most inside of Studio One. Usually when I work with artists and musicians, we are actually building out a song as I'm working with them. And being able to just drop and insert things and be able to copy and paste things over is such a handy feature. So I have some free Studio One presets down in the description below. No third-party plugins required. It uses all of the plugins that are stock inside of Studio One. You can get them down in the description below. They're completely free. And if you like this video, you're going to love last week's video where I show you how to comp vocals inside of Studio One using the tracks feature inside of Studio One. It's super, super powerful. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. So click here. I'll see you over there. And now, as always, go create.